And here tonight, we have two sides who'd love to be involved in the end of season playoffs. First, though, the aim is to secure the Super League futures by staying in the top 8. It's Salford against Widnes. Let's check the team news, and Salford have New Zealand international Kevin Locke making only his 10th appearance in the red jersey since his arrival in the middle of last year. He replaces Niall Evalds, who played fullback last week at Castleford. Mason Caton-Brown returns to the side, having missed the last 3. Powerhouse junior Sow is an absentee. One change to the starting forward pack. Corey Patterson has missed the last 2 matches. Jordan Wallen is out, and Salford will hope that Patterson can replay some of the form he showed during his time at Hull KR a couple of seasons ago. On the bench, Liam Hood and Carl Forster come in. Hood, the former Leeds hooker, makes his 3rd appearance of the season off the bench, and it will be a debut for the ex-St Helens forward, Carl Forster. Well, Widnes have got Jack Owens on goal-kicking duty again. He kicked 4 from 4 last week against Hull KR, and with Danny Tickle out for at least a month, Owens' return to the side is timely. Aaron Heremiah is named at stand-off, but you can bet your life he'll be operating at dummy half throughout tonight, because the big prop forward Eamon O'Carroll is named at hooker. He'll be one of the big men rolling forward up the middle, and Heremiah will play a key role. One of the changes sees McGrath Lulawai replacing the injured Danny Galea at the back of the scrum. And on the bench, Grant Gore drops out of the starting lineup, having played standoff last week, and he takes the place of the injured Danny Tickle. So a blustery night outside, but pretty good conditions inside the AJ Bell Stadium for the visit of the Widnes Vikings. 2015 really does promise to be a volatile season. The Vikings went from 3rd bottom to 5th in Super League on the back of their 20 points to 16 win last week. They led 20 points to 4 after 53 minutes. Victory would be good on 2 fronts for Salford. They'd be in the top 4. They'd win their first game live on Sky for almost 2 years. It was the magic weekend in 2013 when they beat the Vikings by 28 points to 22 when we last saw them victorious. And Widnes, their fans have travelled here knowing that they have been hit by injury. No skipper Kevin Brown, leading try scorer Lloyd White, regular goal kicker Danny Tickle among those who are absent. But more importantly for the Salford Red Devils, they want to redeem themselves after their last televised match. It was in round 2, and they were beaten here 52 points to 6 by St Helens. 3 weeks ago in Perpignan, the Red Devils were involved and contributed to the highest scoring draw in Super League history, 40 points apiece and 14 tries. It was a try fest, and there's some suggestion that we might see plenty of points and plenty of tries here tonight. Out the 2 teams come. Vital night this, Steve-O, because 4th place is beckoning not only for Salford but also for Widnes. The victors here tonight will go 4th in the table.
Yeah, you're right, Eddie, and the major factor, as you say, it's all about building the confidence, and if you can feel as though you're up there in the 4th, 5th position, then you can put yourself into the high flyers. Obviously, Widnes, their coach Dennis Spence has made it quite clear. He's brought out a huge pack. That means that the Widnes side will go right down the middle, and let's face it, when you look at the stats at Salford's defence this year, in and around the ruck area, they have been very, very weak indeed. But the inclusion of Corey Patterson certainly will lift this side. We know what the ability of Rangi Chase and Michael Dobson can do, but Corey Patterson, if he gets on fire tonight, then I think they should finish up winning. But it should be close. Widnes, although they're decimated with a few injuries, they'll give it a good shot tonight.
You know, we've probably got the most erratic performers in Super League against the most consistent performers so far. Widnes, whether they've won or lost, have played at a similar level in all of the 6 games so far. We're almost within an 80-minute period. There are massive swings of whatever Salford can provide with and without the ball. It'll be interesting though, whenever Salford can start to put a period of consistency together, then it'll be a real team to play.
Well, the match about to get underway under the control tonight of Ben Thaler, the referee. who this week was appointed National Match Officials Manager. He is the man then who is charged with finding a new breed of Super League referee moving forward in the future. So best of luck to him as far as that's concerned, and best of luck for him as far as tonight's concerned. Let's hope he gives us a good, fast, open game of rugby league. It's underway. Rhys Hanbury kicks us off. Ball over to the corner, into the arms of Rangi Chase. And, well, a good chase from the kick-off by Widnes, as you would expect.
Yeah, they got there in numbers, but it's good to see that Rangi Chase didn't want to offload that ball. He took it full flight, get himself involved very, very quickly into this game, as you will see most of the forwards. That's a good run there.
Buela Huraki. Tommy Lee is the dummy half. Rangi Chase is obviously the man that they look to on virtually every occasion. The Red Devils, we've reached the fourth tackle. They're still midway inside their own half. Here is Michael Dobson. He gets the ball away to Corey Patterson. And there's the last one. So expect the kick here, maybe from Chase, maybe from this man Dobson, left-footed down the left-hand side. And the ball just bounces in between two players. Paddy Flynn not particularly interested, and he finds touch.
Yeah, quick thinking there by Michael Dobson. He's certainly got the experience. No point in putting it high. Okay, though it was very, very windy late this afternoon. It seems to have settled down slightly. But this man, so experienced, make sure it hit terra firma and put the pressure now on Widnes, trying to get the ball over the halfway line.
Well, Salford lost their three-game unbeaten run at Castleford last Friday. 8th in the table currently. A brief top four place would be the ideal boost ahead of next week's big Easter schedule.
You've just seen a first touch there from Paddy Flynn, number 2 for Widnes. Expect him to have a massive game. He was brilliant last week in the victory. Both him and Jack Owens made the Opta team of the week. They were brilliant performers. And again, he's one of those difficult players to pull down. It's very hard and has made great ground for his side this season.
There's Alex Gerrard, and he will play the ball. And as we anticipated, it was Aaron Heremiah, and there he is again in at dummy half. And Hanbury gets the ball out wide. That bounced off a leg and went forward.
It looked as though it was a knock-on.
I think he's given offside because it bounced forward off the legs.
Well, he certainly got the fingertips to it. It was a little bit lax was the pass, wasn't it? By Rhys Hanbury. Went between the two of them. Did he get a fingertip to him?
See, Cameron Phelps made a deliberate play, obviously, to pick the ball up. Maybe he thought, Stuart, that the ball had gone flat, not forward.
Well, it seemed to have come off the winger there, so I'm not sure where the offside calls come from. I think does it come back off his leg? And
does,
Cameron Phelps is behind him.
I thought Phelps was in front, no?
No, Phelps, well, he was in front, but the winger's gone in front of it, Phelps, by the time he's picked it up, so that plays him onside.
Yeah, he went past the player. Well, was that a shoulder charge?
That was a perfect hit, that.
It was, but was it a shoulder charge?
No. He's picked him out, and it was McGrath flew the way. Remember Magic Weekend last year? He'd done exactly the same to Lamatasi. There it is. That's legal, that, Steve-O.
Harrison Hansen gets the pass away. Corey Patterson will bring it forward now for the Red Devils. There are 3 there trying to harass him to the ground. Eventually down he goes. Tommy Lee, they come down the left-hand side. Rangi Chase dags the ball over the top, looking for Ben Jones-Bishop. Oh, I think Ben Jones-Bishop's knocked on.
I think he'll give it. Oh, he's going upstairs. He's a bit of doubt. The touch judge on this side. Oh, it was a neat little kick, though. That was quick thinking. He's certainly,
it'll be very interesting to see what the video referees make of this. Steve Ganson, Phil Bentham. They've got to find a 100% cast iron reason to turn it down. Stuart, they're onside.
They are onside, yes. It was the grounding that was the issue. Certainly James Child backed off very quickly. Looks like he misses that and gets his hand on the ball when the ball is on the ground. Certainly on first look, I think he misses it on the first attempt going for the ball there, and then gets his hand on the ball. I think that's a try.
Yeah, I'm with you. He misses it, the first goal, he pulls away, and that's a try time.
It's a soft try that Widnes have conceded here. Try is given to Ben Jones-Bishop, who makes it 5 tries in 5 appearances for the Red Devils so far this season. Try against Castleford last week, 2 tries on his debut against Warrington in round 1. 10 tries for the Rhinos last year from 12 appearances. He knows where the try line is, this guy.
Now this is going to be interesting. Did he get a touch to it? Now then, if he did, you can see that the man, but I thought he had to take the ball, not just himself over, but according to you, Stuart, everything was A-OK.
He wasn't offside. He came from Robert Hicks, the touch judge, that call.
You know, you said, Eddie, that it was a bit of a soft try. I think it's a brilliant kick because Flynn can't get to it, and then it bounces away from him awkwardly. You know, the Reds scored the first 2 tries last week from kicks, and they've started this game with a great try from a kick, and the conversion as well to complement it.
Yes, a few moments ago, that was from the boot of Josh Griffin. So Salford into a 6-0 lead, not the start Widnes wanted.
And when Rangi Chase runs the ball at the line, Paddy Flynn can't drop back. He can't sit in a pocket, because if he does, the ball's going to go out wide. It's just going to be a straight, simple play, and then obviously they get them with numbers.
Well, my mind goes back to the kickoff, you know, when Rangi Chase took that ball on the full. Normally he looks to offload, but he took the first hit, and sometimes it can lift you. But that was a superb little chip over into the corner.
So Salford ahead and driving forward here with Scott Taylor.
That's got to be a penalty. Well, it took an eternity. And what did he expect? Gil Dudson holds him there, holds him there, holds him again. No alternative for Ben Thaler but to give the penalty.
Well, a leg tackle is never dominant, and that was a very good line from Scott Taylor. And Gil Dudson just holding on for dear life, was hoping that one of his teammates would have tried to control that tackle up top. Unfortunately, it's a penalty and good field position for Salford.
Indeed so. If they continue to concede penalties, albeit the first one might not have been, but it was given by the referee. If they continue to concede penalties and territory to Salford, they have the talent to cut them open. And here is Kevin Locke, who gets the hands free and gets the ball away to Griffin.
Well, it was great to see Kevin Locke chime into the 3-quarter line. This is only his 10th game for the club, and he really has the talent. But has he the wherewithal tonight?
Tommy Leave just 3 meters shy of the line. Rangi Chase again, shows it to 2, shows it to 3, goes for the gap himself. Good job that Hanbury was there first of all to stop him. And here now is Dobson sliding the ball in again with the kick. It's flung back and then knocked forward. And the referee is, well, his original thought was a tap restart on the 20-meter mark, but
I think he did well here.
Well, I think his foot's just inside the field of play, or the playing field, when that ball is thrown back, and it's what happens after that. So I think his foot's okay. I think his foot's inside the field.
Or is his toenail on the white line?
Just touch the line. Certainly Ben Thaler's got a good view of it from there, and he's called 20-meter restart. I think this will be a 20-meter restart.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, because mainly, boy, hasn't he got big feet? I was amazed at the size of his feet.
Right. We've cleared that up then. And this now is Widnes in possession with Gil Dudson.
Eddie, if had a 9.5, he would have been given the nod for flicking it back.
Here's a penalty now for Widnes. Well, Haraki penalised for interference on the floor.
Yeah,
Mason Caton Brown doing a bit of work as well.
Never released him. Well, Justin Harris will be furious about that. Good start. They got off to a flyer, 6-0, and they were holding the Widnes side way down in their own half. It's amazing now. You just give away a silly penalty and you can pay the price. Look where Widnes are here. They'll be scheming. Keep your eye on Joe Mellor.
That's Alex Gerrard in centre field, midway inside the half. There is Mellor, and he gets the ball away to Hanbury, and Hanbury goes wide and finds Paddy Flynn, and Flynn is hauled down just a metre or so away from the line. Hanbury, whose pass gave Widnes this territory, and it's McGrath Luluwai again taking it forward.
They've got to go left. They're weak out there, Salford.
And hand on the ball by the Salford defender at the play the ball. So penalty is given to Widnes. Now this is a great chance for the Vikings here. And Jeremiah fires the pass to Mellor, and he gives it to Hanbury again. He skips away from one, over the top it goes, flick backwards. Jack Owens has got it.
Well, they have bombed it. Open line, bad pass.
Dodson again.
Well, the Salford defence came out on the angle, left huge gaps, and Widnes couldn't make them pay.
Mellor is enveloped by two tacklers. Adrian Morley was one of them. 9 metres away from the posts, banging centre field. They come right with Hanbury, who's shown up well in the Widnes attacks in the last couple of minutes. Jeremiah shoots in at dummy half again. Back it comes to Mellor. Mellor will dab the kick through into the in-goal area. Too strong, and Rangi Chase is able to allow that to run down.
And you've got to say that he was smart thinking as well by Rangi Chase. He was in a good position, and he's got the restart. He looks as though he's in the mood tonight.
Here comes Josh Griffin. Down he goes under the tackle in the end of Christine. Mike Dobson. Ben Jones-Bishop, scorer of the first and only try so far. The Salford lead by 6 points to nil, 9.5 minutes on the watch, and it was with Lee now. And Lee got the pass away to Scott Taylor again. Prop forward in all matches so far on the season-long loan from Wigan, Scott Taylor. Dobson to Chase. Araki looking for the runners, it's Locke. Scrambling defence from Widnes. 25 metres out, right-hand side of the field with Rangi Chase again. Brings it to his captain then, Harrison Hansen. Here comes the last tackle for the Salford Red Devils, Lee. Dobson, left-footed, high into this left-hand corner again. Oh, it's not dealt with, it's knocked forward. Who knocked it forward first? I think the referee is going to call a Salford knock-on. Dennis Betts on the communication system, barking the instructions down.
And it's a turnover. He deemed that it was a Salford man that got there first. But this is going to be an important facet now for this Salford defence. They've got to make sure that they keep Widnes well and truly down there. Remember, they thought they had them about 4 or 5 minutes ago and then gave away a silly penalty.
Well, last week Salford didn't look big enough or brave enough when they lost at Castleford. They've certainly shown a greater degree of commitment here today. Although I suppose you have to play clever in this game, and the penalties they're conceding have helped Widnes to this point. You know, that is an area of concern for Iestyn Harris. They've given away more penalties than any other team so far, and it's helped Widnes at this in this opening 10 minutes.
Last tackle here on Jeremiah. Expect the kick from Joe Mellor. Under pressure, he got the kick away. And Kevin Locke will try and bring it forward. And is allowed to bring it forward, actually, by the Widnes defenders. And he gets away from one, gets away from 2 and 3. Still going is Locke. That's a great run from the fullback.
It certainly is, and that's the type of play that Salford dished out quite a lot of money to bring a New Zealander over here.
Greg Johnson is underneath the this latest tackle. He then plays the ball to Lee. And Harrison Hansen, the skipper, takes it forward. Here's Dobson looking busy. Rangi Chase looking even busier. Locke with a wide ball. Ben Jones-Bishop. And they managed to force him into touch, but the ball is back in play because he didn't go out with it. So Locke then gives it to Chase, and Chase stands still and waits for everybody to get reorganised. And down he goes on tackle number 4. No panic from Rangi.
No, well, we said he looks as though he's in the mood, and when he does things like that, that's a great kick. Can he get to it? Yes, he can.
Brilliant try from Haraki. Not given. I think they want to check the onside, offside first of all.
I've had a tackle since that over there. Yeah, I've got 5th tackle. My fault, sorry. Checking. I've got to try.
They've got to try, Stuart, so they've got to find the evidence to turn it down again.
Yeah, there's a slight concern come from the side about a knock-on when I think he's knocked the ball in the air to get it. So it's from the kick. We're all onside. So it's straight to see what happens when they collect the ball. Certainly no issue there. All the players are onside.
Well, the ball ricocheted all over the place and dropped very, very nicely indeed. You had the opportunity. You've got to be Johnny on the spot, and Haraki certainly was. And I suppose in many ways Widnes will be looking at the scoreboard and saying, well, our defence hasn't been too bad. A beautiful kick from Michael Dobson. Remember, it was Rangi Chase produced the first try for Jones Bishop. And now Dobson's little kick through, and the determination of this fella has put Salford well and truly in command. But they've had to utilise 2 kicks to get the tries.
It's given the green light by the video referees. 3 tries in 3 successive games now for Wella Huraki. Well, he's with his 4th different Super League club in 6 seasons, this fellow. But that was quick thinking, because the ball came off his fingertips and he reacted the quickest. It completely fooled 2 Widnes defenders, the way the ball suddenly changed direction, but he got it, grasped it before it touched the ground, so perfectly legal. And Griffin kicked a difficult one a few minutes ago, and he has kicked an easier one this time, and Salford lead by 12 points to 0.
Well, they seem to have enough players in motion, Salford. Obviously, we're talking about what Rangi Chase does, but Ben Jones Bishop, what about that from an effort? Keeps the ball alive, it goes back inside, and then they just look up Michael Dobson taking control, drops the ball onto the foot. The first initial contact from Wella Huraki was to tap the ball forward, then regather it for the try. But been very impressed, Eddie, with the forwards from Salford. They've really took it to Widnes, and you would have looked at the team sheet early on when you were in the dressing room thinking, they're going to take us on at the middle. If they're going to take us on, you've got to be ready for the challenge, boys, and that's what they certainly are.
Adrian Morley is ready for any challenge, but there, unfortunately, he loses the ball as he regathered his feet. Just loses it here. There it is, just comes out of his grasp as he goes to play it with the foot.
He knows it too.
I think he puts it down on the foot of the Widnes player there. Whether the Widnes player should have been in that area is a different matter, but that's why the ball's come out, because he put it on his foot.
I think you could call that just unlucky.
So Widnes get the possession from that scrum. There's McGrath Lulawai taking the ball forward for them.
Salford now, this is where you've got to have that concentration.
Oh, and they want it played out wide to Paddy Flynn. He was calling for that. It went short instead to Stefan Marsh, who plays it to Hambury. Here is Mellor. Mellor then gives it to Gerrard again. 10 metres away now, Widnes. 3 gone, 3 to come. Heremiah finds Mellor. Mellor with a short ball. Lulawai again taking it in strongly for the Vikings. This is Eamon O'Carroll.
He tried to offload as well.
Did he lose the ball? The crowd behind the post think he did. Mellor dabs to the in-goal area. And, well, Josh Griffin to the rescue. Takes it over the dead ball line. Goal line dropout.
Yeah, take no risk. A little kick. It just shows you the importance of the defence on both sides. No clean breaks. You can really say from either side. So the kicking game is coming into it, but he did well, did the centre. Anticipated that the kick was coming.
Well, interesting line about the 2 coaches tonight. 2 of the legendary figures of the game in their playing days. Both of them men of steel. Dennis Betts, man of steel, 94-95, the last full winter season before the advent of Super League. Against Justin Harris, the man of steel, in 1998 when he led Leeds to the inaugural grand final. As I say, 2 legendary players, 2 very bright and promising young British coaches.
Oh, that could have been a flop there. Yeah, to me, Patterson came in extremely late after the tackle had been completed.
The big fella's out there for Widnes. Manakufoa takes the 4th tackle 10 metres out. Oh, and there was nowhere that Christine was going then, only to the ground.
Well, Heremiah has disappointed me so far. He normally runs a lot more from dummy half, and he just seems quite happy to just farm it out, and they've spilt the ball. Oh, it really wasn't on. Not for Mellor there. It was a poor kick in the end.
Remember, no Theo Fage, the French international with the 2-match suspension. Mason Caton-Brown in the side as well for Junior Sow, who's not playing tonight. This is Greg Johnson, who's played in all the 7 matches in a row now. And Rangi Chase is probably the first man on Justin Harris's team sheet. It's his 31st consecutive appearance. Ben Jones Bishop goes down. Tackle number 4, and the kick comes early.
And it's good thinking as well. They've got a 12-point lead. Just keep turning Widnes around because the chase is good. You don't have to wait until the last one. That way you can catch the winger or the fullback, just maybe a little bit slow to recover. That's good defence.
It was good work from marker by Mason Caton Brown. Brings Cameron Phelps to ground. Here's Jack Owens. He's drifted in off the wing.
Well, Dennis Betts made it quite clear that he'd put out a real heavyweight pack tonight, and they're ploughing down the middle. But we saw earlier, didn't we, that Paddy Flynn, he was screaming for the ball out wide.
They've reached the 5th and last tackle here. Off the boot of Mellor, it goes up high. Johnson's after it, claims it cleanly.
And that's been clearly the difference, hasn't it? They've just got to the kicks, they've contested them when Salford have put the ball on the boot. And Widnes, well, they haven't, it's bounced against them, but they're a side that won't panic. They won't be alarmed by the fact that they're 12-0 behind inside the first quarter. But they'll need to certainly up the game, because at the moment, the Reds are clearly on top.
And they're in possession here with Dobson, who just flicks the pass away. It's another good, solid run. But Widnes have to try and defend they do. It was Taylor once again with that run. Here is Wella Haraki now.
And you get the impression that Rangi Chase is just teasing the defence.
Dobson, left-footed and high, and slightly cross-field. Oh, Hanbury does well and hangs on to it. He's impressive, isn't he, Rhys Hanbury? Ever present.
Yeah, talented player. Never took his eyes off that ball. It's mine. He was lucky to get it. Did he drop it?
It landed between the thighs.
I was going to say, he was lucky to keep hold of it. He knows it too.
He only missed 4 matches last year, got 18 tries. He's the Vikings' top try scorer in Super League with a total of 47 thus far. Here's Eamon O'Carroll again. I don't know whether Dennis Betts was taking the mickey when I spoke to him yesterday. He did say that Nicky Kiss coached Eamon O'Carroll in the hooking role in his Wigan days.
No, Nicky was a coach of his junior side when Eamon was a much younger player.
In Oldham. So he's to blame then, Nicky Kiss, for Eamon O'Carroll letting go as a hooker.
You know, when you look at Salford play over the last 4 weeks, they're doing the basics really well. I think all the players have found the roles. They know who's the key player. They know who's taking responsibility for leaving them around the pitch, and they know who's taking them forward, as in the big forwards, the likes of Adrian Morley, the likes of Scott Taylor. Play off the back of that. The big run from Tarsi here.
Well, you can see that the Widnes fullback, Rhys Hanbury, is very, very, shall we say, deep. But they found the ground again, and this allows the chase just to get that momentum. That's good stuff. They're playing very intelligently, though this is a good run. But Salford are playing with a lot of intelligence.
And they're playing with a bit of vim and vigour as well. They're enthusiastically chasing the kicks down. And then they are hunting in packs when Widnes come forward. That was Jack Owens playing the ball.
You're right, Eddie. Teams talk about playing with intensity, and Salford have had that in the opening quarter. Can they maintain it? Can they continue that? Is the concentration good enough? The line moves forward here, and they're certainly restricting any ground that Widnes having to fight very hard for. I think it was clear that the Vikings wanted a bump and grind style play, didn't they, to get downfield, but it's not worked so far.
And the big man has come off the bench as well. That was Phil Joseph. You might have got a quick glimpse out there. And there's McGrath Lulawai once again, been involved almost from the first minute.
Good kick.
And Mellor, he finds touch over on that far side.
He knows the importance of that as well, because they've been under the cosh. Salford have been controlling the game, so let's just take them around. That's the first real opportunity that they've turned the Salford side around. Now they can press for the mistake.
Marwan Kukash watching from his executive box, and Dennis Betts, the Widnes coach, is looking a little bit concerned at the moment as to the way the game has progressed in the opening 21.5 minutes.
Well, he'll be disappointed mainly due to the fact that Salford, and we've seen on their attack, they've utilised the dummy runner far more than what Widnes have done. And we knew, as we said it earlier, that you know, Widnes have come with a huge pack and they want to just channel right down the middle. But at the moment, it's just not working.
Well, Widnes normally start games well. There's only been one game this year, Eddie, where they've been behind at half-time, and that was against Wigan in round 1, which they eventually drew with 12 men. So they won't be panicking here. He knows that they can be better. He knows that they've got to chance their arm a bit more, and they've got to try and break this very good Salford team down.
Good tackle. Was that Joe Mellor on Corey Patterson?
Well, he's involved. There he is.
Good effort. You know what? He doesn't miss. He's great defender, Joe Mellor. I know that's not his primary job, but not many people get past him.
Griffin doesn't get past Christine or Paddy Flynn. Jones Bishop. Michael Dobbs, left-footed again, high, on a bit of a slice off the outside of the boot. Paddy Flynn did well. He was under pressure from Rangi Chase.
They both did well. You know, Rangi Chase could have just made the impact whilst he was in the air. He timed it to perfection. But as you can see, again, Widnes, time and time again. This will be the 5th time in possession of the ball where they have not gone into the Salford half in their set of 6.
Big moments here for the number 26 on your screen there. He's been involved in the last 3 tackles of this set of 6 for Salford. Carl Foster coming off the bench, the former England international, for his debut. Formerly with St Helens. Had 5 on loan for London at the start of last year. And he moved on to Whitehaven, reinventing himself back in Super League in 2015. This kick ambled its way over the dead ball line in the end. No pressure on Kevin Locke, so he was able to take the gamble. He looks a lot fitter than the previous occasions we've seen Kevin Locke tonight, doesn't he?
Well, there were rumours, weren't there, that he was going to leave recently, and that might be the case. That might be the reason why he's probably going to have his best ever performance here. If he's trying to impress other players or other clubs that, I should say, that he might want to go to. You know, he's been quiet in the last few minutes, hasn't had his hands on the ball, but I'm sure here, in fact, there we go, got it here and now.
Well, Phil, I really believe that when Kevin Locke came here last year, that he was not 100%. He was troubled with back and hamstring injuries. Then there was a groin problem.
Well, you're right. He was either not fit or not interested because his performances haven't been what he can do.
Well, Josh Griffin's interested. Josh Griffin's very interested, but he's given a penalty as Ben Thaler for obstruction.
Well, he thought that was a bit harsh.
Well, Rangi Chase has got in front of him, and that's the issue. You know, if he stays beside him or behind him, he'd be fine. But because he gets in front of him, he blocks him coming across.
Well, they got a fair old swipe for being in the wrong position.
And I think they've just got another penalty, Widnes, back-to-back. Is that for offside?
Yes, it was. You know, and I'll tell you what I think, Eddie, that was a massive moment in this match that Salford didn't score from that play. I think when you go past 12, it becomes a much bigger hill here. You see he taps the ball quickly and he's gone before the Salford players have retreated 10 metres.
Well, Justin Harris will be furious. We've just praised the Salford side for the enthusiasm, the workload, and then just because they give away a silly penalty, 4 to 5 and we're walking as though it was a half time.
Widnes then with Mellor, and he gets the ball away to Grant Gore. Mellor again, this time at dummy half, and Hanbury gets a short ball away. Brought to ground is the number 17 for Widnes, that's Chris Clarkson. He now is Phil Joseph.
They've got to be a bit deeper, Widnes. Get that second phase. Surely Rhys Hanbury has got to be the key factor now.
Here's Herremeyer again. And Mellor, well, that's not the best kick from Mellor. Straight into the arms of Kevin Locke. To be fair, Kevin Locke did well to position himself for that kick through, but it was very, very easy indeed. Let's hear from Bill.
Any frustration for the Widnes Vikings as a result of that set of 6 coming to a pretty damp squib of an end, but frustration too, I think, from Josh Griffin and Rangi Chase, and that chance that, as Phil Clark said, could have produced another try for the Red Devils. And those two, I think, just expressing their frustration with each other. And Rangi Chase is just so difficult to read. People have said that he's unpredictable. And he's unpredictable there again as that one goes out on the full.
So that'll be brought back to where the kick was taken from. And it's a gift of possession and territory for Widnes.
Is it ever? I just praised them earlier in the game that they were keeping the ball low, especially when Michael Dobson was kicking.
He's gone for 40-20 there. I would imagine that's what he had in his mind. He's an ambitious... He's a gambler, isn't he, the way he plays the game. That hasn't come off. He's got to hope here his team back it up, because Widnes haven't been good, but they're given a chance here now. Again, a repeated chance to attack. And sooner or later, Reece Hansberry, or one of the Widnes players, is going to put the way through this defensive line.
First of 3 against Widnes for Salford in 2015. They will meet again at the Magic Weekend at the end of May in Newcastle. And the 3 will be vital, you get the impression, to either club's ambition of making the top 8 this year. Widnes, of course, achieving that in 2014. If they come out on the wrong side of the results, of course, they're then in the danger zone, the drop zone, the bottom 4. And here is Jeremiah. Jeremiah then finds Hanbury.
Too shallow in attack. They're receiving the ball and the defender is virtually onto them.
Quick defensive line out wide by Salford. It's cutting down their options, no doubt about that. That's Ben Kavanagh. And here is Christine again. But Corey Patterson saw to it that he wasn't going any further than that.
Sorry, Eddie, but very well disciplined as the Salford defence at the moment, though.
Oh,
that's a
kick out wide from Mellor.
Kick.
Went backwards, and so too in the end did Cameron Phelps. He went backwards under pressure and took the ball over the line with him.
That should be the turnover. It was on the last.
Mason Caton-Brown doing well.
Well, you know, the Reds might have made some mistakes. They conceded the penalties up here, which we were critical of, but they've defended the line quite well. Better than we have, well, certainly when we last came here and they played St Helens. Maybe the attacking threat's not been as dangerous, but there's certainly a greater degree of commitment and interest here. And they are a team that like being ahead. I don't think they're as comfortable coming from behind.
That was a good drive from Daryl Griffin. And more good leg drive on that occasion too from Lamatazi.
And here's Liam Hood. Liam Hood's made the break.
Wonderful chase from Hood, and he's got Dobson. Oh, and he's just held up short. What a chase back by Stephen Marsh that was. Stephen Marsh is in the bin.
Yeah, professional foul, and he knows it. Well, he did all the hard work. And confession, go take 10.
It was professional foul. He did really well to chase back and bring Dobson down, but then it was the fact that he was all over him on the floor that was trying to delay the play the ball. That's why he's gone in the bin. And this is a glorious opportunity now for Foster and Salford. It's Chase again. Out wide they go, and they're in with Greg Johnson. Referee checking with both touch judges that they're both happy, and they were not as happy as Johnson and Salford. But Greg Johnson, well, he got a try in the home win against Wakefield a couple of weeks ago. And he's played in all 7 this year, and that's the reason why, hugging the touchline then, and going in low, getting the try after Stephen March was put in the sin bin, and Salford coming on the back of yet another penalty.
Tremendous break. And look how they just couldn't get to him. Back on the inside there, Dobson. And the winger does well, stops him. But there's no doubt in the mind of the official, Ben Taylor. This is a yellow card every moment of the day. But the finish and the pass from Rangi Chase is delightful. This is quality. Wonderful stuff. The combination, but you can see how they were slow tight. I often say, why on earth do defenders, when they do a sliding defence, when they're only 15 metres from their own goal line, it should be man-on-man marking. Take nothing away from this fella. He finished it well enough.
And can Griffin add the extras, maintain his 100% record with the boot? No, just the wrong side of the post. 16-0. It's a big hill for Widnes to climb now.
Well, he's got genuine speed, as Greg Johnson, the try scorer, the number 5 for Salford. But I'm going to put that down to the run from Lamatasi. He'd come behind the run, which enabled Liam Hood to get out from dummy half. The ball goes out. Salford aren't afraid to throw passes like that. And when you've got someone like Rangi Chase and Michael Dobson playing on the front foot, on the back of the forwards' hard work, they're very difficult to control.
Talked before the game, Eddie, about the wind circling around this stadium beforehand. I mean, I think a few of the Widnes players thought that pass might have gone forward. Perhaps it came back initially from Rangi Chase, but the gust of wind seemed to drag it forward, didn't they? And I think the Widnes defenders had hoped that the touch judge would have called it forward. It isn't. And now they face that 16-0 challenge with 12 men on the field. But hey, they've had 12 men before and come back from a similar scoreline against Wigan earlier this season. It's not beyond them.
No, it's not, but they did have some of the big guns on the field on that occasion. Some of them who are not here tonight. There is a real list of players who are not out there. Hep Cahill, Patrick Arvan.
Oh, shocker.
Poor ball. Not the best from Wella Huraki.
And he knows it too.
A no-look pass, and a no-look pass to no one.
Well, if you're not looking, this is the wonderful break by Hood. Back on the inside, and look at the man there, and right from that moment, you're not getting up and playing the ball, but you're going to get 10 minutes in the sin bin.
And you know, with players like Liam Hood that's on the pitch, you can't defend the space. You've got to make sure that when you're a man down, the Stephen March that's on the bench, you've got to make sure you keep everything tight around the ruck. Because if there's any slack play of the ball, if there's any quick play of the ball, he'll get out from dummy half, and with the speed that he's got, he'll damage you.
Well, can Widnes, against the odds, against the full complement of players against them, can they get over for a try here? There's Kevin Brown, one of the absentees, watching on with a bit of a glum face. And they miss the general when he's not out there. 7 minutes to half-time. Salford ahead by 16 points to 0.
Well, a little bit more depth in their attack on this occasion. 2 dummy runners.
Now here's a chance for Paddy Flynn. Here's a chance for Paddy Flynn. Oh, he goes in beautiful try. And Widnes, with the 12 men, they're back in the hunt. Paddy Flynn, he's missed the first 2 of the season. He's played in every game since. 2 tries last Sunday against Hull Kingston Rovers. So 3 tries in 4 or 5 days for Paddy Flynn, and I wonder how important that one will be, and more importantly, how important will the fact that he's narrowed the angle for the conversion.
And you know, it's only the second occasion that Widnes have utilised a deeper attacking ploy, utilised also 2 dummy runners that created confusion in the Salford defence, and guess what? They've come up with a try. No doubt in my mind that Dennis Betts got the message out. Come on, we can get back into this game, and why not? That was very clever by the winger Flynn.
Well, he moved the ball infield around about 10 metres to give Jack Owens the chance of adding the goal. He kicked 4 from 4 against Hull Kingston Rovers last week. There's no Danny Tickle, the leading goal kicker for the Widnes Vikings, but this fellow is not a bad deputy. He knows the importance of this, studying concentration, and he's kicked it. Widnes back in the hunt. It looked as though the game was running away from them, down to 12 men, 16-0 down. Now look at it, 16-6.
I agree, Eddie. He's a tremendous player, Paddy Flynn. He's good in the air, he's very good on his kick returns, and Dennis Betts knows that that is an important try for Widnes. They needed that. They needed to score that to go into half-time with some points on the board. That will give them a boost. 5 minutes to go, though, now.
Yes, they've got to be tight now, Widnes, haven't they, in the last 5 minutes of this first half?
Yeah, it's often the case, you know, just a lack of concentration from the kick-off. They may come up with the error. And it's not a bad kick-off either.
Yeah, nice and deep, but Widnes now with the job of trying to get the ball up the other end of the field. Liam Hood in quickly with the tackle on Ben Kavanagh. This is Phil Joseph.
And the Widnes players will feel a lot more confident in regards to the fact that...
the confidence will be up after that.
Yeah, because they've split them, because they were finding it very difficult. It was far too much up front, 1 out, forwards,
Wasn't that the blueprint, though, Steve-O, that Dennis Betts laid out with his forward pack and the way he's got the 3 prop forwards in the front row?
Yeah, but they weren't utilising the link. You've got to, if you're going to do all the hard work and pull in the defence like they did on that occasion. But as I say, that's only the second time they utilised dummy runners.
No, he's pushing forward.
And Mellor, under pressure from Corey Patterson, gets the kick away. Chase takes control and flicks it to Johnson. Now it's Widnes' turn to try and hunt the mistake deep in Salford territory. See what comes of that. Kevin Locke. Oh, no way through there for Ben Jones-Bishop.
Yeah, it's a different Widnes side now, isn't it?
Yes, they are invigorated by that 6 points they've just scored.
Oh, good work.
Yeah, Liam Hood, he's made an impression since he's come on. It was his break that led to the latest Salford try, and that was another good scoot from dummy half.
Yeah, certainly making a name for himself. I'd love to see them having so much confidence.
Rangi Chase was not fooled then, or did not fool the Widnes defenders then, should I say. Locke, wide they go. Huraki down the line with the boot from Huraki, but he was positioned quite well, was Rhys Hambury.
Yeah, did well. Read it exceptionally well in the end. Now it's pretty important now that they don't give a penalty away.
Gore gets it to Jack Owens once again.
It's pretty cruel out there as well. You know, this is not tiddlywinks. It's some real big hits going on out.
Christine brought down on tackle number 4, 40 metres away from his own line. Mellor to Joseph. Still inside their own half as they've reached tackle number 5.
Will they be happy with the kick downfield, or will they go for a short one? No, they've gone for length.
It's a great kick too, a great kick, although this guy can be dangerous. How much speed and effort putting into this run? Well, that's a brilliant defensive line, Widnes. There's nice short spaces between all the defenders. All the team worked hard to get down there, and again, even on play 2 here now, Salford shift it, but I don't think they're going to make any ground.
Mason Caton-Brown.
Oh, he had the chance to offload there.
This is Greg Johnson.
Johnson was screaming for it. He had the overlap. Now, will we see a Rangi Chase special?
Well, you know where Huraki goes without it.
I'll tell you what, Ben Jones-Bishop was there on the right-hand side, and he knows it. Not having the best game.
It's a great last chance here now, Eddie, for Widnes to attack. You see the threat with Rangi Chase. He just instantly, naturally plays, but they've kept the ball alive and lost the ball. And Widnes now, as the clock ticks down with about a minute or 6 plays to go to half-time, Widnes have a chance. I imagine that you'd have to think of Aaron Jeremiah and Joe Mellor trying to create a way here of getting through, over or around this red line of defenders in front of them.
Well, he's waiting to return, Stefan Marsh, after his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Just waiting for the nod from the official.
Well, it's a great riposte, isn't it, when you think about it? You know, it's down to 12 men, and they've gone over for the try. And it was a good try as well by Flynn.
Some of their better moments, actually, Super League would come when them down to 12. We saw the one just before the break leading into the match when they were reduced to 12 men at Warrington. They came up with a famous win. And as Phil rightly said, they had 12 men for a stage against Wigan. And they came up with a draw in the first round of the Super League this year. Ooh, Manukau Foa's hanging on. He thought about offloading that ball and in the end thought better of it wisely. Christine again. Penalty. I wonder if they might they kick the 2 points here with, what, 30 seconds remaining, or will they go for broke, do you think?
I think they should go for broke.
I think the kicking tee's just been sent on.
I think you look at the 2 points, Ed.
Has the physio come out with the kicking tee? Yes, he has. Well, he's come out with a message anyway.
I think he nearly pulled his hamstring. He ran out that quick. The message came down from Dennis. Get on there, let's get the 2 points.
It's a big ass. It's a windy night. We can hardly tell up here on the gantry. It's a very cold night, very bitingly cold wind that's billowing around the AJ Bell Stadium. So it's not an easy kick, this.
And if they do kick it Dennis Betts, the Widnes coach, the man in your camera, he'll be happy. Just been 8 points down. Salford have been the better side. The forwards seem to have made more ground. They've created more try-scoring opportunities. So to go in just 8 points behind will give them a lift.
Yes, if they're playing a board game, this would be their get-out-of-jail card, wouldn't it, And he's capable of it, Jack Owens. Only 20 years of age. Full back against London a couple of weeks ago. Been out on dual registration with Whitehaven recently. 4 from 4 last week, 1 from 1 tonight. 2 from 2 tonight. What a comeback, what a fight back by the Vikings. 16-0 down. Looked like they'd be heading back down the motorway with 0 points in the bag, and Salford would be easing their way into the top 4. But they went down to 12 men when Stefan Marsh was dismissed into the sin bin for a professional foul, and they haven't looked back since. It's 16-8 at half-time. The match is still to be won in the second half. Here tonight at the A.J. Bell Stadium, home of the Salford Red Devils. 4th place beckons the winners, and Salford Red Devils lead 16-8. The story has been the fight back by Widnes Vikings in the back end of that first half. They were 16-0 down at one stage. Well, Justin Harris, the Red Devils coach, with a little bit of work to do. Coaches at Salford since February 2011, Sean McRae, Malcolm Alker, Phil Vivas twice, Matt Parrish, Alan Hunt, Brian Noble, and now Justin. And in all of that time, this man, Dennis Betts, has been in charge of the Widnes Vikings. And he's in charge again tonight and trying to rally his troops for a big second half. I'm going to try and rally our troops now. It's Brian and John.
No rallying necessary. I'm sure Dennis Betts is a lot happier now, Eddie, than he was 12 minutes into this game, because his side were 12 points down. Tries to Ben Jones-Bishop and Well Haraki. Salford scoring on both sides of the field, and created, John, by those 2 playmakers that we spoke about before the game, Chase and Dobson.
First thing you pick up from that, though, is that ball lands so close to Paddy Flynn's feet. I think in that situation, you've got to take a chance as a defending winger. You've got to look over your shoulder. It's a difficult catch, I know. This is better play from Salford. That ball was very, very difficult. The bounce was right in front of Rhys Ambry, and a favourable bounce for Salford as well. So a great start for them. Widnes, they looked like they were left in the blocks completely. For all that we were talking up their ability to offload in the tackle and make yards forward, that was completely negated.
With 6 running forwards, that's not entirely unexpected. They did, however, create some chances, despite this relatively conservative approach to the first 20 or 25 minutes of the game.
Well, I think that was picked up in commentary as well. They'd looked like they were missing an extra ball player. Mellor was doing an awful lot. Jeremiah caught in the ruck. Chris Clarkson gets himself through the hole, but then opts for the ball. The low percentage pass over the top. It would almost be as well, with that not being last tackle, taking the tackle and giving themselves another shot. Here's another one, another option. Poorly taken, really. They go for the running option, and then a nothing kick really through and put it in the hands of a potentially very dangerous kick returner as well. They're just not clicking for me, and I think in large part they've looked a lot healthier since Grant Gore got on the field. That looks a lot more balanced attacking side now.
That will certainly help them. That right-hand side for Salford has been vulnerable this year, and Widnes may get some joy out of hitting that again in the second half. Signs of life from the Widnes Vikings, absolutely. Down to 12 men, still plenty of spark though, John, in this side.
We were looking for signs of life because there didn't look to be an awful lot going on there to start with. Sometimes it takes something like this as well to spark the game. Liam Hood, who is at the base of the ruck here, I thought he was outstanding to get himself going round. Manakafoa not setting himself, but look at this for a chase back from Stefan Marsh.
Dobbo's towing the sled here, cut the sled. Boom.
He's running in mud, the poor guy. Although the 10 minutes was given there, and rightly so, I think that was a potential try-scoring situation and a professional foul, no doubt. It seemed to kickstart life into the Widnes Vikings in attack.
Tell me why the second 40 minutes will be better than that first 40 minutes, because it was drab at times.
I think they need to keep Grant Gore out on the field and need to free up Aaron Jeremiah from the base of the ruck and stick him as a half. Grant Gore seems to be in at the hooking role. What I will say is that when you've got a fullback who's not bothering to move 3 players off the short side when the opposition's down to 12 men, that effectively brings the fullback back into play as the extra man again, which this for me was the play of the half. And when you get to this point and you see Rhys Ambry with the ball there, and the first thing he sees on catching the ball is Ben Jones-Bishop, the wingman, with his eyes in. He's looking for that. Paddy Flynn's got his hand up, he knows exactly what's happened. That's the perfect position, and that 3-on-2 for me was allowed to be created because the fullback hasn't sorted out that problem pre-play. And I think it's a great finish from Flynn. He's shown great pace to get on the outside, and a nice little subtle finish as well. There needs to be a lot more of that and a lot more positive play. We've seen it in previous streaks from Widnes. They just look to have gone into the shells that opening 40.
Big prize on offer here as well, 2 competition points. Both these sides have very difficult Easter programmes coming up. Games over the weekend against hard opposition. This will be a chance for them to get 2 very important points, and that's why I think it will be an exciting and an important second 40 minutes, Eddie. Certainly better than the first 40.
Yes, an important 40 minutes, Brian, you're absolutely right, and certainly for Widnes, because they really do suffer from travel sickness. They have won just 1 of the last 8 away from home, stretching back to last July. Well, can they force their way back into this match in the second half? They certainly did in the latter stages of the first 40, and they only trail by 8 points at the half-time break. This second half about to get underway with Salford kicking off. Widnes looking for their first away win of the campaign. They've lost at Leeds and Huddersfield already this year. Salford, pretty good form, stretching back to last season on this, their home ground. Looking for the 8th win from 10 fixtures if they can hang on and build on this half-time lead.
Well, they were the best team, weren't they, in the first 40? You know, if Widnes came here with an intention of running over the top of their opponents, they clearly failed in that first 40. The opponents had about the same amount of possession, but made far more ground. They ran stronger and tackled more dominantly, and here's a great example of it, Salford doing that again to start this half. That has to be a challenge here now for Widnes to compete in this game.
Widnes tonight playing in their all-black strip, their alternate strip. They've got a brand new strip being produced and got ready for the Magic Weekend in Newcastle. They've adopted the black and white stripes of Newcastle United in an attempt to pick up some support in the city of Newcastle itself, and it's all in aid of the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation up there in the northeast of England. A great marketing ploy by Widnes. And throughout the course of 2015, Widnes have adopted Prostate Cancer UK as their favoured charity for this season. They're doing a lot of work with the charity, getting the word out there. And they're very proactive off the field, the Widnes Vikings, in 2015, doing a great job.
Yeah, and they'll have to do a better job on the field of play as well, Eddie, because they were very disappointing in the opening 30 minutes. Okay, amazingly, when they went down to 12 men, they played their better football. I'm sure that Dennis Betts has given them a bit of guidance, maybe standing a little bit deeper and being a little bit more creative. Good kick and chase, good taken, but look at the numbers there.
Yes, good chase by Salford, that claimed nicely by Rhys Hambury. Let's hear what was said in those dressing rooms, shall we, at half-time. That could be a high tackle, by the way, but the referee says no. As I say, what's said in the dressing room half-times, Bill?
Eddie, both camps pretty cautious as they came out for the second half. Both sides pretty optimistic as well, but acknowledging the fact they've both got to improve their act. Salford really disappointed with the way they dropped off for the last 10-15 minutes or so, ironically, when the Vikings only had 12 players on the pitch. But Ian Watson, Iestyn Harris's assistant, telling me that they really feel as though they let themselves down in the closing stages of that first half, and they allowed the Vikings back into it. They've got to reassert their authority and get the dominance back that they had in that first 40 minutes. They're confident they can see this one out. Widnes Vikings, well, a lot happier than they were after half an hour. They're pretty confident that if they can improve in the contact, improve in that tackle and restrict the offloads for the Salford Red Devils, then they can still get over the line against their opponents.
Just caught a glimpse there of Dennis Betts. It's worth mentioning he is Salford born, and he did take over in February 2011, while Salford have had the 8 different coaches' names on the coach's office. Dennis, well, he has brought a bit of stability to the Vikings in all that time and guided them to the top 8 for the first time in 2014. He wants to do the same at least in 2015. Mind you, so too does Justin Harris.
He's got a stable side, and what Dennis would have said at half-time, you've got to take your chances, you've got to create some opportunities, and when you do that, you can be dangerous. But look at this, Salford. That's when Salford are dangerous. Do they overplay, and when they look at the scoreboard, or do they just tuck it under the wing and just see what comes up?
Try here, I think, for Mason Caton-Brown.
Yeah,
it was another lovely kick by Rangi Chase.
Near perfect. I think Caton-Brown has got there.
I think he's picked the pocket of the defender here.
Well, he's certainly onside. He's certainly well behind the kick. So it's does he get it down on the ground? The ball's on the ground anyway. So who gets there first? Certainly gets his hand to it. I think. Well, it looks like his hand's on it all the time there. So I think this will be given.
Beautiful kick through, wasn't it? Rangi Chase took a bit of a shoulder charge as well. McGrath Lulawai, I think he's got it down. Hambrick, as Eddie has mentioned, had his pocket picked. Oh, knock on, is it?
Well, he certainly gets his hand to it at the top. It's whether or not there is some separation on the ball before he gets his hand back on it. He has to keep possession of that all the way down, and there might just be some slight evidence there of the ball coming away from the hand. And if that's the case, and the video referees are convinced that that's definite proof that he's knocked on, and I think that's the gap there that they'll see. This could be turned down.
Is it the forearm that rolls onto the apex of the ball? This is a big one.
Well, this is the view from the ref's cam. It is the separation, and you know, from that view, that's why Ben Thaler's thinks it's a try. It's all down to whether they think there's separation. I think the view from the other angles suggests there might be some, but is there enough to overturn it?
It's a big call, this, in the context of the match, because Widnes fought their way back in towards the back end of the first half, and this could be a real boost for Salford if it's given. But there does look as though there is a couple of inches there.
Eddie, that's
separation.
That's the frame, Eddie.
That's the one. I think this should be turned down. I think there's enough evidence there that that ball comes clear.
Those pictures from different angles are exactly the same framing in our cameras. So they're looking at every angle.
Is it the forearm, though? See the apex of the ball? It still has touching on the forearm. So I reckon this should be given.
Well, we've got about 3 different versions of events up here. That's the one that matters. The try is turned down.
That's the get out of jail card. When I was talking about what Salford do, they're 8 points in front. Did he tuck the ball under the wing? Did he play conservative? They can't play conservative. A brilliant kick. That would have been the 3rd try. If that was awarded, they would have been scored from kicks. So very talented side, not just when they're running the ball, but also when they're kicking the ball near the try line.
Well, Mason Caton-Brown is still waiting for his first try of the season. He's missed the last 3, formerly with the London Broncos and the Hemel Stags. It would have been his first of the season had that been given.
Well, he went pretty close, didn't he? And that'll be a real fillip for the visitors. Widnes know they've got out of jail on that one.
He lost the ball.
He's lost it. Joseph, that's a knock on. And the Salford players, you'd think they'd scored a try. No hand in, he just lost control of it.
And it's the extra work from Wella Haraki, trying to turn Phil Joseph round, trying to point his head towards his own sticks. So when he gets up to play the ball, he's got to set himself, he's got to turn himself around, which will then make it a slow play the ball.
Well, Phil Joseph was furious with himself that he dropped the ball, and as Steve rightly said, the Salford players, well, they were high-fiving and slapping backs there. That was an important moment for them, having had the try turned down. So here they come now. They've got a great chance, and it's that man. Oh, they're pushing him back. They're pushing him back. The referee said held. He was pushed back, and so he brings them back to the place where the tackle was completed, and the play the ball. The tackle count continues.
Well, I'm glad the referee's got it right.
Dobson had to check his stride, actually, before he was looked at. This is Patterson.
He's a key player for this Salford outfit. They've missed him over the past fortnight.
So is Liam Hood, who's been dangerous since he came on.
He's been a star.
Look where they are now, Salford. They're so close. And when this man's got the ball in his hand, anything's possible. Tazi goes over. Tazi with the try, set up again by Rangi Chase. This time they do celebrate the try with vim and vigour. Tazi and Chase, brothers in arms, and delighted with that score. It was a stroll in the end for Tazi. First try of his season.
Neat little switch. And again, we see the qualities. Rangi Chase runs right across. Come on the angle. Yeah, Joseph never filled in. That was poor defence. Watch how they just make on the back. They hang back. Joseph couldn't pick him. He's delighted and every right to be. But when you come on the angle and you've got the ability of Rangi Chase, that's lovely to watch. But I'm sure Dennis Betts will not want to see that more than one occasion.
Look at the way they rush in and celebrate that try. They're celebrating the 6 points here because Josh Griffin's added the extras, and celebrating not only Tazi's first try of 2015, his first Super League try in the colours of the Salford Red Devils. He did score a try in the Challenge Cup against Widnes last year, which Widnes won on this ground.
There's usually a cause and effect to everything in life, and I think you can trace back the aggressive and vigorous defence from Salford that forced the ball out from Phil Joseph, that's given Salford the chance to score that try and put 6 more points on the scoreboard. And I think that's what really Iestyn Harris has been trying to develop here, hasn't he? A more aggressive style of play, defending though, that forces mistakes at times from your opponents and then gives them the chance to complement what Rangi Chase can do if you put him in the right part of the field.
Well, Tazi is now suddenly up for this. He's running with strength. He's just put Grant Gore on his backside.
Just pick out a lad who's smaller and you just tuck the ball on your wing and just run at him as hard as you can. Love the way Tazi plays. He's got so much energy and so much enthusiasm for the game.
Yes, picking out a smaller man running straight at him. Terry O'Connor looking in a mirror there of his own image as a player.
What's the point in running at a big bloke who's going to put you on the ground, Eddie?
And here now is a high kick from Dobson, which is plucked out of the air, but he couldn't get the ball away. And, well, Josh Griffin did well to grab hold of this, but he just couldn't offload before he hit the deck and was tackled by Paddy Flynn.
Yeah, but another teasing kick. And as this game was developing, you just get that feeling that Rangi Chase has got himself back into the mood. But I'm with you, this youngster, Hub, he's turned him around. And well, Haraki getting to the runner there, and just a word of caution to Terry O'Connor. He might have picked out the little fellas and met them in his playing days. There is no excuse for picking on the little fellas in the production team as well, by the way. Well, they don't call him the brute for nothing.
It mightn't pay off in the overall scheme of things, Stephen.
That's what I say, they call him the brute.
This is Phil Joseph. Kick into the corner.
It's a good one too.
I think it was Luluai who got the kick away. Oh, Greg Johnson using his strength. They're all at it. Oh, and he bounced underneath the would-be tackler then.
Eddie, and that's the difference. Widnes' chase looked a bit laboured, and when they get to the man, he goes straight through. It's got to be better. Your first up contact has got to be better than that.
We've alluded to the fact that Easter is just around the corner. Difficult fixtures coming up for both these sides. Widnes home to Warrington on Good Friday. Easter Monday they fly to Perpignan, then they go to Hull on April the 10th. So that's their Easter campaign. For Salford, it's Huddersfield away, Wigan here, and then Leeds here. Then a Challenge Cup tie against the Lee Centurions, in which Gareth Hock is prepared apparently to give his eye teeth to play in.
This should be the kick into the corner, and it is. Another teaser. Good position by Reece Hanbury, but look at that. That is brilliant.
Goal line dropout forced. And again, they move in to celebrate as if they have scored a try, Salford.
That's brilliant. The kick, first of all, then the pressure, all the players pushing in. And then, as you said, Eddie, all the players coming in, congratulating each other. They know it's a team sport.
And this sort of spirit was not evident when we came to see them against St Helens last time, and the good doctor will be delighted with that, and the fact that they're leading 20-8 on the scoreboard.
If you get beat, go down with a fight. I think everything that Salford are doing in this game, they're fighting for every inch, they're fighting for every try that they're scoring. They're not trying to win the game on their own, they're not trying to win the game in the first set of 6 of the game. They're quite content to go down and grind it down.
Tommy Lee gets the pass away to Carl Forster.
Yeah, rampaging now, aren't they?
Now the tails are up now.
Yeah, they sure are, and Tommy Lee just trying to control things.
Oh, lovely interplay. Locke throws the ball wide. Ben Jones Bishop.
That's good defence, though. But it was a nice little switch one move.
Patterson gets it away to Griffin. He scores. I think he's beaten those 3 players to get this ball down. And he's going to hand it on again to the video referee. What's his decision on the field? A try is given on the field. He wants the video referees to check the grounding.
Well, he's big, he's strong, isn't he?
Well, again, I don't think there's much wrong with this one. I think he's still got possession of the ball. He's still down on the ground. Well, does he get the ball down? Does he put it down on the leg? I think certainly when Ben gets around there, the ball's on the floor. I think it's probably held up at that point. I think from the back angle, it was still held up.
There's nothing to suggest from anything we've seen so far that he's grounded the ball. Has he grounded the ball there?
Well, I don't think.
Or is it on the leg?
I don't think he has. I think he's put it down on his leg. So it's,
but does he get it down now? And the answer is yes.
But it's still up in the air.
It's in the air.
It's still in the air there.
Yeah, but it's on the line. You know that white thing?
Well, it could have touched the ground.
On the
there.
leg, that's the black thing. There, but it's got the sock on it. Try is given. They have to have 100% evidence, 100% to overturn the decision on the field that's given. And there was an element of doubt, but not 100% certainty, apart from in your mind.
It was all about the pressure, and that has been a highlight of the home side tonight. The kick and chase game was good, and he's had a big game, not only in attack, but also in defence, Josh Griffin. Quick thinking, and he got there.
And here he is now to try and add the extras. Ooh, it's not a bad kick, this. Oh, off the post. Little whimsical look over the shoulder from Griffin.
Well, I don't know the name of the phobia when somebody has a fear of television cameras, but Salford have had it for almost 2 years, haven't they? We've watched them play 9 times before this, and they've failed to win in any of those 9 games. But again, on the evidence of what we've seen today, and the home record, Eddie, that you stressed, is this their 8th win in the last 10 home games?
Yes.
They're not a bad side. It's just that whenever we've seen them, they've underperformed. I mean, they were awful when we came here and watched them play St Helens. They're a little bit more competitive tonight. And there are patches and elements of the play that makes you think they could be a top 8 side if they could just string it together. But after, I think, continue to improve.
Well, they're going 4th tonight if they win here. They won 5 from 6 at home at the end of last year. They've won 2 of 3 before tonight, so this will be 8 from 10, as we've said. In the home run, they've beaten Widnes here in round 27 last year by 36 points to 6 and at 26 points to 8. With 26 minutes plus still on the clock, the margin could be even bigger this time.
Well, I think you've got to look at the fact that, you know, some of the big buys have really performed out there tonight. Kevin Locke certainly had his best game for Salford. Since he arrived there, Rangi Chase, he's been all over the shop, controlling things out there, but it's also been their defence, and the forwards have been cruel, they've been tough. And I'm afraid Widnes have found it very difficult to penetrate it. Oh! Well done, Corey.
Steve, I think when the Salford players have got it, especially the forwards, every carry is a run to bust. We saw that in the last set of 6.
And that was forward a mile.
Oh, it wasn't forward according to the referee. Now he's given Widnes the penalty.
Yeah, it was a delayed pass, but this is forward, I'm sorry. It made it even worse because you could see the 40-metre line. Oh, bang, bang, bang. We knew he'd make an impact after missing the last fortnight, Corey Patterson, and he certainly has done that.
Well, Widnes are trying to make an impact now on the Salford Red Devils defence. And here comes Eamon O'Carroll. And he's still going, Eamon O'Carroll.
Jeremiah's got to be the key.
Well,
he knows nothing better than to sneak one.
Well, there he was at dummy half. He got it to Grant Gore. Here is Mellor. Mellor then to Hanbury. Hanbury short ball to Marsh. Takes the return. Gets the pass away before he hits the ground. Chris Dean, but they've lost momentum here. Have Widnes. Dean trying to get some more back into them. Jeremiah, back it comes again. Mellor. Mellor then gives it to Gore. Gore to Hanbury. He's knocked down by Johnson. And the referee just has a consultation with the touch judge. It was knocked back, says the referee. It was knocked back by Salford, so play on.
Interesting, isn't it?
I think it was too. It certainly went backwards off him. Might even have hit his shoulder rather than his arm as well.
He's not impressed.
No, he's a bit frustrated with that decision, and
he's every right to be, I think.
Yeah, again, there's an element of doubt.
I'll tell you what, his opposite number though, Iestyn Harris must be happy with the way his side have defended. They've looked good, haven't they? Even when they stretched it to the right, they had the numbers over there, they brought it back this way, the men made the right decision at the right time. They've been hard to break down.
We're talking about the big forwards who've done a great job for Salford tonight. The great Adrian Morley has just come onto the field. Oh, and did Owens get a touch on that? I think he possibly did.
He'll have a look upstairs. Will Ben Taylor?
But he's given the dropout underneath the sticks, has he? Ooh, maybe he didn't.
Eddie, he wouldn't have touched that because on the bounce here, he would have gone for that ball. If he thought that there was any chance that he's touched that with his fingertips, he would have gone to catch it.
Well, the video refs and the referee on the field, Ben Thaler, agree with you.
Well, in the past, this Salford outfit, Eddie, they've always struggled, even when they got into a lead at times. They've normally just given away silly penalties. You know, they can't seem to close the game down. It'd be interesting to see how they handle this final quarter.
Well, beaten here last September, Widnes. It was actually their first setback in 4 visits to Salford. Their first away defeat to Salford since 2005. They did lose here in Super League, but they won in the Cup by 30 points to 20. Here's Jeremiah. And Dean stabs it through, collected by Kevin Locke. He's on his line when he picked the ball up eventually, but he's able to make the 2 metres forward before the tackle came in.
The coach, Iestyn Harris, will be happy with his performance. It certainly has been the best in the Salford shirt. And his ability to read the kick, and he was in a good position on that occasion. It's been a good team effort. Something that's been missing from the Salford outfit for several months, never mind weeks. You know, to play the full 80, control it, has been extremely rare.
Delayed pass from Chase finds Locke. Locke gets the offload away to Lee, and Lee finds Griffin again, who has been busy from the very first minute of this match. Lee again going once more down that left-hand side. The boot from Dobson then down the line. Hanbury not interested, allowing it to find its way to touch.
Mike, I know you made a point earlier on this evening, really, about Salford haven't really managed to get the best from Michael Dobson. We all wait to see Rangi Chase get his hands on the ball, and there's a kick that's gained some ground from them there. But it hasn't been as dangerous, and maybe that is a challenge now for them for the rest of the season. How do they get those 2 players to play in tandem, to complement each other, and get the best for the rest of the team? It's an issue that I guess they haven't managed on yet.
Well, they had the same problem, remember, when Smith was partner in Rangi Chase, and I think they've sorted it out. I think Iestyn Harris has had the great ability to be able to still say to Rangi Chase, I want you to take first receiver as often as possible, and let Dobson go out a little bit wider. And I think it's worked. It certainly worked tonight. There's been no confusion, but we've seen glimpses this year already of Rangi Chase back to his best. And therefore, Dobson can do the work out wide. Rangi Chase can do all the work very tight to the play the ball area. It's been impressive tonight.
So Widnes looking to rescue something from the match in the last 21 minutes of the game, if they possibly can. It's a long way back, though, 26-8. Conceded 10 points without scoring themselves in this second half so far. And Heremiah gets the ball away again to Eamon O'Carroll.
Another major feature which Yusin Harris will be very happy with is their discipline has been a lot better. It has been a problem in the past where they give away silly penalties, they get confused, even back chatting to the official. They've got on with their game today.
Forward pass. Forward pass picked up this time by the officials.
Well, Widnes have got very good attacking shape. Unfortunately for them, they can't get the noses through. Grant Gore goes forward, goes at the line. Tommy Lee puts pressure on him, and there's the forward pass to Cameron Phelps. But every time that Widnes run the ball, because Salford are defending so well, they're just not creating any go forward. They're not generating any decent quick play the balls, but they have got good shape. But these are the battles, like Adrian Morley is attracting 3 defenders.
And that's where Salford have been powerful as well. They have got over that advantage line time and time again, whereas Widnes have struggled.
That's good metres after contact, Eddie. 3 or 4 metres gaining ground, even when the defenders were around him. And here's a line of attackers now out wide on the left.
Corey Patterson goes down on tackle number 3. Locke comes back into centre field to Chase. He gives it to Hansen.
Locke on that short left-hand side. On the right instead.
To Rangi Chase. Oh, and he backs off and then goes past them and goes past another. A good job that Grant Gore got the tackle in. Dobson, left-footed kick. There are a line of red shirts out there. Corey Patterson's one of them, and they're applauding Corey Patterson. He says he scored, and Ben Thaler isn't sure, neither's his touch judge on the far side.
Well, it was bobbling all over the place. You can't complain about the official going upstairs. It was here, there and everywhere.
Another try given on the field, Stuart.
Yes, and Ben Thaler ends up behind the play where the ball's been placed on the ground. So that's probably why he sent it upstairs. They're all onside, so there's no problem there. And I think it looks like Widnes get to the ball first. No, I think it's all off Salford so far. He gets the ball back. I think this will be fine. Yeah, it's a clean catch by Patterson. There's no if he does touch the ball and it goes against the Widnes player, it could be classed as a knock-on, but I think he just gets the hand out and it sticks in his hand. Gathers the ball. I think this will be okay.
It's whether he gets it down, because it bobbles all over the joint.
That's the crucial moment, the contact in the air.
He's got it though.
Well, I think you've got to see that the ball goes from Patterson onto the Widnes player hand, and I don't think he can do that. So I think he's got that cleanly. What happens with it on the ground? Well, he's certainly got possession of it. Does he get the ball down cleanly? It's still up in the air there. It's still up in the air, but the tackle's not complete yet, so he can keep going. He's still in possession with it. Well,
I'm not so sure.
I think his hands come off the ball.
Well, I'm not getting involved this time, because
I think this will be turned down, because in the slow-mo shows you that he loses control there.
Well, it's not on the floor yet. Hasn't managed to touch the ground. That's when his hand's on the ball. Doesn't manage to get to the grass, which it has to do. His hand's still on the ball at that point. At what point does the ball go on the ground? It's still up in the air.
And then it's lost.
And I think that ball comes out.
This is the 5th time we've called on the video referees tonight. They've had it a bit difficult.
They've not been easy.
They haven't.
They've not been easy.
They've all been complex.
They have. Now with this one, even though his hand's on the ball, he actually loses possession of the ball.
If Chris Dean the Widnes player who's involved in the tackle, pushes the ball out of Corey Patterson's hand.
Well, it could be deemed that will be deemed as a penalty rather than a penalty try, but I don't think it does. I think there's players just trying to.
You don't think Christine's hands in there?
Well, I think the pressure's on Corey Patterson's hand, and that's why the ball comes out.
I've just tossed the coin, and I'm going for no try.
We have to go back to this thing. I think if the video referee's got a clear look at that and a clear decision on it, he's probably going to say no try. But does he have enough proof to overturn it?
No, he doesn't. Them's the break.
You see, I wonder, Stuart, last season, would all of these tries that have been given with an element of doubt about them, would they have been given this time last year?
Well, I certainly think some of them would have been overturned, would have been a different decision, would have been arrived at. But, you know, that's the system we've got in place. The referees have to make a decision on the field. You can see that clearly Ben Thaler wouldn't be able to see that, so he's sending up on the advice of the touch judge.
And he misses with the conversion, Josh Griffin. Little shake of the head, but it's 30 points to 8 to Salford.
Well, the Salford players are putting themselves where the action is. As Dobson kicks this ball, there's 3 Salford players jumping for that ball, putting Stephen Marsh under pressure, and it's Corey Patterson, the big giant back rower, who comes up with that try. But they're just pushing up, they're working so hard for each other. And again, look at the run from Adrian Morley. Proud Salford lad.
Yes, his career has done the full circle, hasn't he? Born in Salford, went away, Leeds, Warrington, Bradford, where he won a grand final winners' ring, and of course in the NRL in Australia. And here he is now back at Salford.
Well, Salford aren't the best team in Super League yet. They've probably got a long way to go to get to that point, but they have a point of difference, and that's their ability to score tries from kicks. We've seen it already this season. Last week at Casford, even though they lost, here again tonight. And you know what? Whilst they can't break down many of their opponents, potential obstruction there, but the referee says play on. Whilst they can't break down through the passing players very often, they have obviously shown a brilliant ability to score tries from kicking the ball. Hard to defend against.
They're not the best team in the competition, Clark. I thought you tipped them.
I said yet. You didn't listen. You've got to practice.
So they will be by it comes to round 27.
What about the grand final?
And that's all that matters. Who's the best on the night? They've got to qualify, of course, in the top 4. Oh, here goes Paddy Flynn again. Paddy Flynn has broken the line. Oh, the hamstring's gone.
I'm afraid, Joe.
Well,
that is a shame. Well, a few getting upset that Rangi Chase came in, but he's got to make the tackle. He had to.
Well, all he could have done was just put a hand on him, to be fair. The lad's lame. The lad's lame. Look, the hamstring's going. He's going nowhere.
Yeah.
There, he's got him.
He's a big, powerful man, Paddy Flynn. I'm not so sure whether Rangi Chase needs to do that. When the player's injured on the floor, well, as you said, Eddie, just put your hand on him.
Yeah.
He's fell off the tackle, Steve-O. Maybe he's a bit frustrated with that. You can see that a player's injured.
Let's hope it's just cramped because he's cold.
No, that won't be cramped.
We saw Ben Evans suffer a very serious injury last week, didn't he? Where some of the muscles around his groin and the back of his leg needed surgery. I hope he's on the way to a full recovery, and let's hope Paddy Flynn's not suffered anything quite as serious.
Well, Dennis will be hoping.
Do you think it is cramped, that, Phil? Because he's stretching it out there, isn't he? Would you if you pulled your hamstring, you wouldn't necessarily stretch it out like that, would you?
Very cold night.
To go down like that, though.
I know.
To go down like that with cramp. But Dennis will be hoping that Paddy Flynn's okay. Patrick Arvan already not playing. He's been suffering a concussion for the last few weeks.
Could just be a tweak, Eddie.
Might be. Well.
Well, I'm afraid I can't make any comment because I never ever pulled a hamstring. I never ran that fast, but it looks as though he's in a lot of pain. And it was a shame because I think for all the world, he probably would have made it into the corner.
I think Rangi Chase there, whose actions weren't of the best, I think there, as he's on the ground, Paddy Flynn receiving treatment, I think, to be fair to Chase, he actually did offer an apology to him.
Yeah, he did. The first one was sufficient. He didn't have to go the second go.
Well, that's a shame because Paddy Flynn has been the most dangerous attacking player tonight.
But there's nowhere to go. They're coming up really fast on the edge. They're cutting all the options down. Look at that. if you're a prop forward or if you're taking a one-up carry there, where do you run? You're confronted by 3 men all the time.
It's been difficult because the Reds' defence has been outstanding.
It's a very similar situation, this, for Widnes to round 27 last year, because when they were beaten on that occasion by 36 points to 6, they also had some notable absentees. They actually took the decision to rest the players that night because they were playing the following week in their first ever playoff appearance. So I suppose Dennis will be saying if only they could get a full team on the field against Salford at the AJ Bell Stadium, as they must have done in the cup tie, they can give them a bit of a run for their money.
Well, there's still plenty of time for some more scoring, getting that scoreboard ticking over.
Chase to Dobson. Dobson then to Locke, doing a 360.
And, you know, I made the point earlier in regards to the fact that I think that Justin Harris has got both the halfbacks worked out. You can see Dobson, neat little kick.
Christine got it at the second attempt. He pushed it backwards.
The other point I'm making is that Dobson is far better when he's taking second receiver out wide. And Rangi Chase is creating all sorts of havoc in the middle of the park.
Gerard goes down.
Eddie, you'd have to say that this is the best performance we've seen from Salford for quite some time. Oh, that looked as though a bit of an obstruction.
Didn't come to anything.
Yeah, and it's the worst from Widnes.
Yes.
They've played well for 6 rounds. They've been really consistent performers, but they've not brought their A game here tonight, and they've been embarrassed by a team that, well, outplayed by Castleford, have shown up here now. Eventually they've put a performance together in front of the Sky cameras.
Well, they've not got, Widnes haven't got their A team on duty, and that's taking nothing away from Salford, who have been magnificent from the very first whistle. They've been, as you've all been saying, they've been in the faces of Widnes from minute one.
Dennis won't make any excuses. He's turned up here. He was confident and spoke to him early on in the week. He thought that he could get them maybe up front, then bring Grant Gore on and then play a bit more expansive. But Salford, I don't think he was expecting Salford to be as physical as what they've been this evening. Everyone seems to have got on board. They put their hands up. They're there to take the ball forward. And even if they're not taking the ball forward, they're supporting a teammate.
Bit of a worry for Salford. Corey Patterson just made his way to the sideline to be replaced with a quarter of an hour or so remaining, and he's limping pretty heavily. This is Weller Huraki as Salford look to turn the screw even further. Liam Hood, reverse pass. Taylor gets over sheer strength, sheer willingness to put the ball down. Here they go, the celebration's on again. You think they're winning the grand final here?
He fully deserves that. Scott Taylor, an unsung hero tonight. He's just got through his hard work, not interested in passing the ball, just making sure his team is safe in possession of the football. And this is a neat little move. You don't often see a move close to the line, but that is fully rewarded for his hard work.
I don't even think they do the move that well, because the pass isn't exactly where it needs to be. He has to twist and turn and almost take it behind him, but he's strong enough and determined enough to crash through what looks like a little bit of feeble defence there from Widnes on their own line. Hanbury and Gore not strong enough to hold a big fella.
Yes, Scott Taylor taking a page straight from the Terry O'Connor coaching manual, picking on the smallest guy on the pitch and coming up with his first try in Salford's colours. Scott Taylor.
And the celebrations will continue on. I think they'll watch
they're proving, Steve-O, that they are together. They are a group, and they are actually all playing for each other tonight.
Yeah,
no question of that.
Listen, I'm an old-fashioned hooker, and I just get rewarded by watching little moves like that, flip back on the inside. We don't see enough.
That was a nice
from
ball.
Some of the team.
Nice pass here from Liam Hood. Look at that.
Well, this is what you're confronted with as a player, and you can see that Grant Gore and Reece Hanbury, when you're defending your try line, it's very difficult to get off the line, to go forward and meet a big fella, because you can't switch off from the threat, which is the ball carrier, and that was Liam Hood. So when a big fella gets the ball and he's charging straight at you, it's difficult to stop him near the line, Eddie.
Well, there's still 12 minutes to go, and Salford could do their points difference a real power of good here tonight.
Again, just look at that run from Taylor. Another physical run.
Just to say again, they are going 4th in the first Utility Super League table tonight. The Salford Red Devils, albeit maybe for just 24 hours. There are a host of matches to be played tomorrow night, including ours, of course, the live match from Hull Kingston Rovers. Hull KR against St Helens is the Friday match live on Sky Sports. We've got news from Bill.
Yeah, Dennis Betts, the Vikings coach, has just come straight down the stairs from up high in the stand where he's been watching the game, and he's actually gone into the Vikings dressing room, I think, to check on the condition of Paddy Flynn, the Vikings coach, just emerging now in actual fact. But obviously, with the injuries he's already got, especially in the 3 quarters, the last thing he needs is a hamstring injury to another one of his first choice players, and I think that might be the situation with Paddy Flynn. They're hoping not, but that was the initial prognosis. He's got so many players out. Patrick Arvan has already been mentioned. There is the possibility that Kevin Brown will be back in action in time for the Easter weekend, but the problem's mounting up for the Vikings.
A lot of people, Eddie, you know, perhaps think that some players are a one-man team, but I must say that he really has put himself about today. Rangi Chase, he's worked very, very hard. He's been creative. He's back to his best. And Salford are back to his best. And you mentioned, Eddie, they could be in 4th position.
Yep. Well, we've been banging on about that all night, Steve.
Yeah, and no, but I'm making the point.
Go on.
Dr. Kukas said when he first came and took over at Salford, we want to be a top 4 team. Well, tonight they will be.
They also need to be a 40-minute team. They didn't play for 40 in the first half. Probably just dropped off, didn't they, as the coach mentioned at half-time. They didn't go for the full 40. Interesting test. The game's won, but can they improve the concentration? Because you'll have to practice doing that if you're to beat the better teams, and that's obviously a goal for Salford for the remainder of 2015.
Well, I have to tell you, in case you didn't see earlier on Sky Sports News, when Phil reports into their programme from our matches just before the games, around about 6:15, 6:30, in conversation with the great Jim White, Phil's best pal in Sky Sports News. Phil tipped the Salford Red Devils to win tonight, so Jim said he's going to put his mortgage on Widnes.
Well, I can eventually hold my head high.
Homeless tonight. He's homeless tonight.
10th time lucky on Sky it's been.
Well, if he's got any money left, he might be watching, Phil, so you might have to talk to him tomorrow. Just put the record straight.
We've got to get him up here to a game soon.
Oh, he loves his rugby league, does Jim?
Another great kick. He's been so influential, hasn't he, Rangi Chase?
Oh, that was risky from Owens.
Very, very risky. And they'll drag him back.
They're brilliant signs. Absolute brilliant signs. Rangi Chase comes up, and he comes up in the centre of the field to make the ball get thrown over there to Rhys Ambry. Then all of a sudden, because I think it's Liam Hood who's coming up putting pressure, they turn them back into where all those Salford Red Devils players are. They can't get outside of them. So enthusiastic. You've not seen this from Salford. Well, last year in particular, but this year, the opening few games, and they seem to have turned a corner.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And you quickly mentioned the youngster that came off the bench, Liam Hood. Well, he certainly has been a key factor tonight in the success of the Salford Reds.
Yes. From London on a one-year deal. Liam Hood began at Leeds, 3rd substitute appearance of the campaign for Liam Hood, and he's certainly made a difference here tonight. And I must say, Terry, one man I am delighted for seeing Salford play the way they are tonight is the coach, Iestyn Harris, because this is a pressure cooker that he works in here with the good doctor as his boss.
Yeah, it is, and when he took over last year, he had a star-studded side, but he had to get them playing as a team. He lost some plays, he let them go, he paid the contracts up, and he's brought in players, the likes of Liam Hood, the likes of Griffin, out in the centre, Josh Griffin, and all of a sudden they start working for each other, and then Dobson and Rangi Chase can weave their magic.
Well, Rangi Chase is on his haunches in back play. He hit the deck, he's back up on his feet now, waiting to take his part in this next move, maybe. And is that Liam Hood? It's no try. It was Liam Hood.
Yeah, he went pretty close. He's a live wire.
He's held up over the line. So he goes back 10 metres. Plays the ball, and here comes the last. Oh, plucked out of the air neatly by Hanbury. Has Hanbury got the legs? Because there's 7 chasing him, 8, 9 chasing him now. And they get him down.
You know, Justin Harris will show the team how they got back. When the fullback, Hanbury, made the break, as you say, Eddie, there was at least 5 anyway. I'm not so sure about the 7, but
Steve-O, there was 5, and one of those 5 players was Scott Taylor, a prop forward.
you talk about working as a team, and boy, look, he makes the break, and they come from all over. I know you were trying to count 7,
I wanted to count
Eddie.
the red shirts then, yeah.
I think you got two players in the crowd as well.
Always prone to exaggeration, you know that.
Too true, but you know, that's something that every coach just looks at and says, I think I've got the lads working. They have worked hard for each other.
Kevin Locke goes to ground quickly. On his own line. Here goes Mason Caton Brown. Jeremiah just held himself back. Didn't come in with the flop.
You know, if we're really honest about Salford, the bigger problem is the volatility in the performance. We've all said, you talk about how good they've been tonight. They have been, haven't they? The tries from the kicks have been difficult to stop. They've been strong very defensively. But how can they go from being so good to being so bad from one week to the other? And that has to be something that they address, because they've clearly shown us how good they can be when they're at the best. They've got to get close to that. Even when obviously the bounce the ball doesn't always go their way, they've got to get closer to the performance they've shown here in every 80 minutes they play for the remainder of this season.
And they've got this good record at home, a little bit like Widnes. They're good at home as well. They like this place. Widnes plainly like the Select Security Stadium.
Well, as
you've got to get some consistency into your performances, though. You're absolutely spot on.
And when I think you pinpointed it last week in regards to not many teams this season have actually won away from home. 9
away victories out of 37 fixtures now. So that's under a quarter now. Have been won by the teams away from home. This isn't going to go the way of the away team, obviously. Salford 36-8 with less than 5 to go. Lulawai, he's tried hard all night too for Widnes.
They've been outplayed though, both in attack and defence. It's a neat little kick.
Grant Gore, too long.
Well, less than 5 to go, and I just got the impression and the feeling that Salford are not just going to say, okay, we've won it. They want to score again. They want to show to their coach that they can keep going for the full 80.
Well, they've just got to keep improving, haven't they? And if you look at what Justin Harris has built, you've got to have players that complement each other. So if you look at the hook and roll in Tommy Lee, who works really hard defensively. I think last week he made 51 tackles. And then you've got Liam Hood, who comes on and causes havoc. And Widnes obviously conceding a penalty here. Again, it just comes down from they're not set at the play of the ball. McGrath, Lulawai and Gil Dudson, they just can't get squirt.
And they'd be delighted, Salford, they've played as well as they have tonight, because they've not been able to play well in front of our cameras for 2 years. It was a point that Justin was making actually in the pre-match build-up to this. He wanted them to put on a performance for the TV audience to prove that they're a better side than people think that they are, and they have tonight.
Well, forget the TV audience. They've got to prove to themselves that they're a better side.
Terence, you work in television. How can you forget the TV audience?
What I actually meant, Eddie, what I actually meant to say was they need to prove to themselves that they are a better side for the TV audiences that are watching.
Well, I must say, Terry,
he's gone into reverse, and he's hit the floor with the accelerator there.
Eddie, I did mention in the first half what big feet Corey Patterson has. I'm on the gantry with a man who's got even bigger feet, and he's right way down his throat.
That's the new Widnes strip from the Magic Weekend I was telling you about for the Sir Bobby Robson Charity Foundation, in the colours of the Newcastle United football team, of course. Peter Beardsley's on board with that. John Bishop's on board with that. They've done a great job, actually, Widnes. And they're going to hopefully get some wonderful support from the people of Newcastle for all of that.
Well, that supporter will be hoping that his team put in a better performance when they meet in Newcastle, because it's been a one-sided affair pretty early on in this game, haven't they?
And we'll be seeing that strip up against the Salford Red Devils at the Magic Weekend at the end of May.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting weekend, that is for sure. I thoroughly enjoyed. And why not? Good quality. And that's... oh, did he knock up? He did well to hang on.
Jeremiah will play the ball to Grant Gore. Mellor, just a hack downfield, really. Not Taze, it's Wella Haraki in back play is just receiving treatment for a bang late on top of the head, I think. Here goes Kevin Locke again. Into the last minute we go, with Salford heading for 4th place in the table. Griffin's worked hard all night. Dobson has invigorated them. Chase has played well. You actually, and this fellow as well, Liam Hood, you have to search for a player in red who's played badly tonight.
Too true, and that will be the most pleasing aspect for the coach, Justin Harris. We knew deep down that they had the quality. We knew that one day Kevin Locke would really put in a great performance, and he has tonight. Dobson taking a while to settle in. He's put in a good performance, but Rangi Chase, he's been the main man.
Yeah, he's pulled the strings.
Yeah.
This fixture, by the way, at that Magic Weekend we've been talking about, it kicks the whole jamboree off on the Saturday lunchtime. And remember Adrian Morley's try for Warrington against St Helens a couple of years ago. He went, well, Adrian will tell you, ran the length of the field. I think it was half the length of the field. And he plunged over underneath the posts. There's the full-time siren. And Widnes will go home disappointed. Rangi Chase with a big smile on his face, and why wouldn't he have? And Salford have laid down a marker for themselves. The chairman, Marwan Kukash, won't be tweeting anything tonight like "I've had enough." He will be having enough of watching Salford win so handsomely, I'm sure, because it's been a good all-round performance from them. And as we have said, on 1 or 2 occasions, they are 4th in the table. They take over that place from the Huddersfield Giants, who play, of course, tomorrow, along with all the rest, bar Catalan Dragons and the Leeds Rhinos, who will be playing in Perpignan on Saturday. OK, we're going to hear from the man of the match shortly, and guess who he is. But before that, we'll go down to the boys at the touchscreen. Brian and John.
Thanks very much, Eddie. Of course, 16 points to 8 at half-time in favour of the Salford Red Devils. They scored 20 second-half points. Mason Caton-Brown had a try disallowed by the video referee. Shortly after that, Lamatasi try, and got the ball rolling again in the second half, John, for the Salford Red Devils.
Really disappointing with Widnes' performance today, and it's not just because Salford played well. I thought they...
Absentees?
Has a little to with it, but they've been missing arguably what we've been calling their main player in Kevin Brown for some time now, and I think the guys who were in there are more than capable. However, having said that, they didn't show up. Just a little bit of smarts. Great run, first of all, from Liam Hood to put him in a great position, and he's beaten the initial tackle in Chris Dean. But this is common. Inside your own 5-metre area, it is very common for you not to have 2 markers, for you to have a single marker. But not at all costs, because it is clear that Liam Hood with the run there has actually broken the initial tackle of Chris Dean, the guy at the bottom of your screen, just there. So to see Grant Gore, now fair enough, the guy on the right-hand side of the ruck is Reece Amber, he's the fullback, fair enough. The fact that Grant Gore gets off and automatically gets back into the line speaks to me of somebody who's not having a look at the consequences of what's happened. And then, of course, Chris Dean, who's lost the pace, lost the ruck, is the one who misses the tackle on the inside. And that is a direct consequence, I think, of players not thinking on their feet.
Right, that on 46 minutes, that pushed it out to 22 points to 8 in favour of the home side. Well, that got extended to 26 points to 8 with Josh Griffin's try as well, again after reference to the video referee.
Yep, and something that I thought Reece Amber's opposite number did really well. Reece Amber did poorly on a couple of occasions. You just got to surrender there almost and get underneath, and it's something that we saw Kevin Locke do a couple of times towards the end of the game. And this is what we talk about, decisions and consequences, because, you know, off the back of that, this is where the play came for the Griffin try, which effectively killed the game. We'll switch to the angle behind the sticks, and we'll see the finish off from He's a tough player, is Griffin, and a good goal kicker, and I think he's growing into his role as a centre there. He's initially a wingman. He's developing as a player, and I've been impressed with his form. He's been very consistent over the last few months.
He's been very good. The goal kicking is a hugely important part. There was, of course, then tries from Corey Patterson and Scott Taylor. Scott Taylor, one of those players involved then in a piece of play, defensive play, that should bring a smile to Yesson Harris's face. The boys mentioned it in commentary. It shows the effort and enthusiasm they got in this squad.
I think for all the points that have been scored tonight, I think this, if you want to look at a motivational piece of footage before you go out to face your next opposition, have a look at this blanket.
Scott Taylor, the head down.
I think just the sheer volume of players that are back there and that are still making the effort. And it's that sort of mentality and winning mentality and refusal to give up that's not been present for great periods at the Salford Reds for many years. They're starting to nurture that sort of belief in themselves now and that refusal to lie down.
Terry O'Connor said they'd turned the corner. Are you convinced by Salford?
No, because I'm unconvinced by Widnes today. I thought it was a really poor performance by them. Still a work in progress for Salford, for sure.
OK, plenty of work for both sides ahead of a busy Easter calendar, Eddie.
Yes, that'll put them in fine fettle, Salford, for the Easter programme to come, which, as I say, is going to be busy for them, busy for all the teams in Super League, but really tough for Salford. Huddersfield away, Wigan here, Leeds, and then they've got to face a Challenge Cup tie against Lee. But that's all in the future. In the present, they've won, and they've won handsomely. 20 unanswered points in the second half. Super League Thursday, that has belonged to the Salford Red Devils. 36 points to 8. They were 16-8 up at half-time. 20 unanswered points in the second half. The man who pulled all the strings was Rangi Chase, not named on that caption, but he's the man of the match with Bill.
Rangi, congratulations on a man of the match performance. You could see from the way you celebrated tries, you celebrated tackles tonight. This was a team performance.
Yeah, it was, and we haven't really performed as a team over the last, at the start of the season, so. But, mate, they were missing some key players like Kev Brown, he's their best player. And they had some good personnel, but it was just our attitude tonight. And we turned up with the right attitude. It wasn't pretty, but the attitude was there.
Up to 4th in the table. OK, I mean, there's still games to come. That can alter. But you're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, well, we've got to take no notice of the table, but it's good to be up there other than because, you know, last year we were the other scale. But we just got to keep our heads down and just bring that attitude every week, and we'll get performances.
You've got a tough Easter coming up, haven't you? Some big games.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to test ourselves against the big teams. And you know, credit to Widnes, they battled with troops down. So, but we turned up, and it was all about our attitude. And credit to the boys.
Well done tonight, Rangi. A stylish performance, like your new haircut.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Take care, mate.